What's up everyone, it's Anime Reviewer Girl and I have a new video for you guys today. And for today's video, I decided to talk about a group of individuals that I find both interesting yet very creepy. And those group of people are Weeaboos. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard this term within the anime community, but for those of you guys who have not, Weeaboos are basically an individual whom is obsessed with both anime and manga, but to the point that they're also obsessed with the Japanese culture, and at times even denounce their own culture in favor of putting the Japanese culture above their own. They also at times can not understand the balance as far as boundaries with an individual. Sometimes they go so far as even thinking their own characters are real, and they are just basically obsessed with everything anime and manga, but to an annoying and creepy extent. If those of you guys who are thinking, I don't think I've ever came across a Weeaboo, then you might be the Weeaboo of your group. Don't worry, I'm just joking. You probably aren't the Weeaboo of your group, but you probably just have never came across one, which is also maybe even a good thing. The reason why I decided to explore this topic of Weeaboos is due to a Tumblr page that I came across where people pretty much put their Weeaboo stories out of how they came across Weeaboos, or even if their own stories of when they themselves were in a Weeaboo phase. And a lot of these stories were interesting to read, and also kind of made myself, as well as an anime fan, be like, I don't want to get to that extent. But it also made me think back on whether or not I had my own Weeaboo phase. And to be honest, I think everyone has. I think everyone at one point or another, when they first got into anime and into manga, probably had a phase where they talked about it constantly. That was the only thing that they talked about, the only thing that they were obsessed with, maybe even going so far as using broken Japanese to feel like they can communicate with someone. And I definitely went through that phase, but I think a lot of us also grew out of it. The thing with Weeaboos is not all of them grow out of it, and some of them even get to an extent where there's physical boundaries that are crossed to the point where other people around them feel very creepy. And when I also read a lot of these stories, some of the individuals also seem to always have the criteria of a Weeaboo by not being very hygienic, and they feel like a lot of them don't shower, which is astounding for me because hopefully everyone showers, because that's just nasty if you don't. So here's the reason why I decided to also bring up Weeaboos. Like I said, they're interesting because I'm so interested in finding out how an individual can become so obsessed with something that they no longer understand boundaries, whether things you can ask someone, the way you are with someone. For example, some people do not like to be touched, and a lot of times Weeaboos have an obsession, or they feel like glomping or wishes to tackle hug to somebody. And that for me is just like, don't you understand physical boundaries? Like, if someone tells you don't do something, you don't do it. Not only that, but you should know that if you do not know an individual, you don't just go up to them and hug them, or you don't go up to them and just assume they are something when they are not something. And a lot of these stories are kind of scary. Ooh, I just cracked my knuckle. Some of these stories are actually quite scary, and some of them, even some of the people that they came across have ended up going to jail or anything over their ways of being a Weeaboo. And that also goes along with them being creepy, just because a lot of times you can feel vibes with someone, and if someone's a Weeaboo, sometimes you can just feel it and you're just like, I think something's wrong here. Not only that, but I feel like with Weeaboos, I feel like a lot of times they portray or become the poster child for anime fans. So many people who are not anime fans just yet, but they're interested in just the medium in general, and they like to watch the shows, and they come across someone who is a Weeaboo, a lot of times that turns them off of ever wanting to be a part of that community, and because of the fact they think that everyone is like that, when in reality, no, there's a select few of individuals who do take that to the extreme, but that doesn't mean every fan is like that. And to be honest, maybe people, I don't know, maybe just don't try not to be a Weeaboo. I mean, it's okay to be a fan, but when you get to the point where you are physically making someone uncomfortable because of how much you talk about something or how much you are obsessed with something, and it becomes almost creepy, especially if you become obsessed with the individual, that is where it starts to become very, very creepy. So just be very careful of that as well. But yeah, that's why I decided to explore this Weeaboo topic, and I actually want to link down below the Tumblr page. And the reason why I want to link it down below is because some of the stories are really interesting to read, and some of them even make you think about your own Weeaboo ways, and if you ever had a Weeaboo phase. Not only that, but it might be great to show to someone who you think might be a Weeaboo, or someone you think who has the potential to be a Weeaboo, and be like, hey, you don't want to be like these people, just because I don't want to see you get to this extent, you know? So I feel like that's why I want to link it down below. But have any of you guys came across any Weeaboos? Have any of you guys ever been a Weeaboo, or been a part, or been among the Weeaboo phase, or do any of you guys think you're a Weeaboo? And I know that for some of you guys may be thinking, well, is the term Weeaboo bad? Yes, it is bad to be called a Weeaboo. It's not exactly a good term that you want to be called, although some people don't mind being called that. And hey, if you don't mind being called that, that's perfectly fine with me. But I guess among the anime community, if you call someone a Weeaboo, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to be called. It means you're obsessed with it, and it's to an extent where it's unhealthy. But yeah, so if you ever came across a Weeaboo, comment down below and let me know where and when, and let me know how you handled it. And I'll also link the Tumblr page down below and have you guys actually check it out, because I think some of you guys might be kind of interested. All right, you guys, so like always, strive for your dreams, because you never know what's gonna happen. And I'll give a thumbs up to this video if you enjoyed it, and also of course subscribe if you haven't already, and click the little bell so that you are notified whenever I post a new video, which is every Wednesday and Saturday. And I'll have a new video out for you guys soon. And yeah, bye.